And welcome to Let's Fly VFR. Today heading out in X-Plane 12, and I did an upgrade. I went over to Windows 11 and all of a sudden my performance just increased out of sight, I've got to tell you. Now if you've seen a recent video that I did on some performance settings, you'll note that they were roughly the 25 to sort of 30, and I had turned down settings. Well, I'm going to tell you, I've got this pretty much maxed out in VR, and you can see the performance I'm getting there on screen throughout the whole of this flight while I do one circuit around Parafield Airport. And again, I continue to do my performance videos around Parafield, one because it's a home airport, and two, everything else that I do performance wise has been based on this region, so you're getting a comparison if you want to check out any of the other videos. But GPU 60%, so maybe there's some more that can be done there. Memory 6.3 gig, CPU's at 75%, so it's actually working. Sorry, 28%. Temperature's up a bit as we take off. Now I'm going to go through the video settings that I have for you, and maybe these can help you out as well. I did do a clear out of all the caches and bits and pieces in X-Plane in Windows 11. And this is what I'm using currently, so you can see everything else pretty much maxed out with the exception of shadow quality and anti-aliasing. I've got that turned down. I'm using the Oculus tray tool. Now I do think that this GPU scaling makes a difference. It never really did anything with the Windows version in Windows 10, but I found this consistently to improve performance, so I recommend you have it on. I'm not using any scaling or anything like that that's using up a little performance. Doesn't seem to like it if I do that, but you can see we're pretty much stuck at the very high 30s and 40s with maxed out textures, maxed out objects, and I tell you, it's like butter in the sim. I really couldn't believe it. You've got to be very careful though. If it seems if you've been flying or playing anything else, it's really worth doing a restart and then getting into X-Plane in Windows 11 and doing this. This seems to be not always consistent if you've been doing other things and then you jump in and then go for a fly. So, but look, I'm getting 4.5, I've seen 4.6 gigahertz on the CPU. So we'll talk about specs in a minute. So now let's have a look at all the NVIDIA settings. Now feel free to pause and have a look anytime you like. Nothing particularly special in here. The things that is important is the MSAA and the virtual reality super sampling. One thing no one ever talks about is you need to have both of those on. If you don't have the MSAA on, then you don't really get anything out of having that setting on. No one else has mentioned that. And if you read the instructions at the bottom of the page, it tells you that straight up, you know. It really doesn't do anything unless you have that MSAA turned on. So turning around on base, and look, it's just incredibly smooth. I can't believe it. I just about fell off my chair when I got into it when it started flying around. And I flew this the other evening, and it was just like this. And then I did something else. I think I flew DCS for a bit, and then I came back to it, and then it was a mess. So this is sitting on the fine edge, and it doesn't take much to upset it as we come round onto final here at Parafield Airport. But you can see it's been really consistent throughout the whole flight, and we're flying really low with everything turned up maxed, and the performance is just, well, stunning. I can't think of any other word to describe it. I'd be very interested to know if you try these settings and you've got Windows 11, does it help you? Have you had the same experience? Please let me know in the comments. As we come in on final, I'll try not to break this Baron 58. I really enjoy flying this. It's a bit of a challenge. You've got to get it just right, and most of my landings are a little bit on the heavy side. So just display settings. In Windows you can select a program and you can set its performance level. That's something you can do quickly. Just in the graphics settings you can do that as we come in on a late final. Lots of graphics, lots of aeroplanes sitting around at the Parafield Airport. and it's modeled really well, and this is default as well. So nose up, trying to grease it on, little bit of a float here at the end, and there we are. Yeah, a little bit on the firm side. Get the brakes on, try and keep it straight. Not too successful on the braking side, but I tell you guys, please have a look at what I've done. Have a look at the settings I've got. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly spectacular in what I've done, but it is working incredibly well. So again, I just really wanted to share it with you. Now, if you've got time spare and you're looking for more information about flight simming, I've got my website, letsflyvfr.com. If you're looking for information on DCS, how to fight, how to do combat, stuff like that there. Falcon BMS, I've just done a recent post on that one, how you can download that for absolutely free. And it is now VR capable, guys, so you can go and check that out. Just search for Falcon BMS, but you'll see it in the menus, X-Plane 11/12 and Microsoft Flight Simulator information you'll find there. So until next time, have fun simming. Hope this helps you out, and I'll catch you back again at Let's Fly VFR again real soon. Bye bye.